Hello and welcome to my 1902 farmhouse and my craft room. My name is Alicia with Country Mama Musings, and today we're going to be working on the treble crochet square for our Heirloom Afghan crochet along sampler Afghan. So grab your supplies and let's get started. For this block, we're going to be using our size H crochet hook and whatever color you've designated as color A. For me, that's white. We're going to go ahead and start with a slip knot, leaving a nice long tail to sew back into your work later. Get that onto your hook, and we're going to start with 28 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 25, 26, 27, and 28. We will be working this block in rows back and forth along, starting with this chain. So let's get ready for row 1. For row 1, we're going to work in the 5th chain from the hook and then in every chain after that. So not counting the loop that's already on your hook, counting over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our 5th chain from the hook. This is where we'll place our first stitch. For the treble crochet, we're going to yarn over once, yarn over twice. I like to hold the yarn with my finger before entering a stitch. Going into that chain that we marked there and grabbing the yarn and pulling back through to the front, we have 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. We completed that action of yarn over, pull through 2 3 times, hence the word treble. It means 3. We're going right here to the very next chain. We're going to place a treble crochet in this next chain. Yarn over once, yarn over twice. I like to hold it with my finger. Entering into that stitch and pulling our yarn back through to the front. 4 loops on our hook. We're going to complete that action 3 times. Here we go. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, completing our treble crochet. Going on to our next chain, yarn over once, yarn over twice, entering the chain, pulling our yarn back through to the front, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to continue placing a treble crochet in each chain across. When we get to the end here, we'll do a stitch count and make sure we're on track. We're coming here to the end of our chain where we're adding row 1 of our treble crochet. Stitches all along here. We're getting right down here to the very last chain. Make sure you always place a stitch in that last chain. It's important. Don't skip it. There we go. Let's lay our work out and see what we've got here. Nice even stitches. These are much taller than our double crochet. Each stitch that we've worked on over the last 4 blocks, they've grown in length. It takes you a little less time to get a block put together that way. Using our crochet hook, let's count and see what we have here. We're going to count these 4 that we skipped at the very beginning. We're going to count these as a treble crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. That's exactly where we want to be according to our pattern. Placing our hook back on our work here, let's move on to row 2. Hey, are you enjoying putting together all of the beautiful heirloom sampler blocks for our Heirloom Afghan crochet along? If so, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, check out the playlist that has all of the videos for every block for our crochet along, and be sure to share the video with your friends that like to crochet. Okay, let's get back to our project for this week. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to turn our work. This chain 4 now and for the rest of this pattern is going to count as a treble crochet. Since this was our last treble crochet that we worked right here, and this is going to count as a treble crochet right here. This means that this stitch already has a treble crochet. So don't work in this stitch right here. We're going to place a treble crochet in the next stitch right here. So yarn over twice, going into that stitch indicated, making sure you get both the front loop and the back loop on your hook. Pull your yarn back out to the front, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Going to the very next stitch, yarn over twice, into the stitch, making sure you get both the front loop and the back loop. Pulling our yarn back to the front, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to continue placing treble crochets in every stitch across to the end of your row. You should have 25 treble crochets, remembering to count this one here as a treble crochet. I'm going to continue placing treble crochets along my row here, and I'll meet up with you when I get to the end of the row. Coming here to the end of row 2, just a few more treble crochet to put into this row as we near the end here. This is our last real evidence stitch right there. But don't forget, these chain 4 counted as a stitch. You're going to want to place a treble crochet in the very top of this chain here. These chain 4 counted as a stitch, so don't skip over that. Make sure you get those. And that makes for 25. All right, let's take a look now that we've got row 2 done here for our block. You're going to want to continue row 2 until your block is approximately 7 inches square. I'm going to go ahead and do a few more rows, and I'll meet back up with you and we'll see what our square is looking like. So again, row 2 is just chain 4 and turn your work, and we will begin row 3. Again, we're not going to work in this very first stitch right here. We're working over to this stitch here, completing a treble crochet, working to the next stitch, a treble crochet. And so we're just repeating row 2 all the way across. I'm going to put a few more rows in, and I'll meet up with you and we'll look and see how our block is looking. Okay, I've completed several rows here of our treble crochet, and I think my block is shaping up very nicely. Now don't be surprised if you have these wider gaps here on the end. That's to be expected. That's just one of the things that we deal with. If you want to make where there's less gap, you could chain 3 here. This would draw this in a little bit, but I'm going according to the pattern for this sampler, so I'm going to keep it just the way it is. If you've noticed when you get to about halfway point that your work is starting to taper in, stop what you're doing and go back and check to make sure that your counts are correct. Remember, we're supposed to have 25 across. If you have anything less than 25, stop, pull your work out, frog it out until you get to the point where you're correct on your count. Then continue forward again. It's only going to get smaller and smaller as you go, and you're going to end up with a triangle, and you don't want that. What if your work is starting to flare out a little bit as you work? It may mean that you may have an extra stitch in here that you weren't planning on. Once again, count, make sure you have 25, go back to the point where you have the correct number of stitches, and then continue forward. I'm going to keep working on this one, repeating row 2 until I have an approximate 7-inch square block here, and I'll meet up with you then. Okay, we've completed several rows here of our treble crochet, and let's take a look at our square here. These are very loose stitches. Don't get carried away with putting too many rows in. Try to see how this stacks up with some of the other blocks you've done. This is our double crochet block, and I mean, look, it's right there, okay? It's the same size, so we know that we're right where we need to be. Let's go ahead and check to see if it's square. That's pretty close there. I think we're good. So now what you want to do, now that you have your block exactly where you need it, you're going to want to complete round 1 and round 2 of edging. Do not finish off your yarn yet, because your edging is going to be done in this same color. Round 1 is going to be done in color A, and round 2 of your edging is going to be done in color A. I'll put an iCard for the tutorial right up here, and I'll also put it in the description box below. So once you complete your block, once you complete round 1 and round 2 of your edging, there's only one thing left to do. Get yourself a little tag and mark on it block 4, treble crochet, color A, and attach it to your work. Set this work aside with your other blocks that you've completed in a place where they can stay dry and clean until you're ready to put your Afghan together, and you're all set. Well, thank you so much for joining me here on the farm today, friends, in my craft room as we worked on this really fun square, the treble crochet. I'll see you next week for block 5, which is the front and back loop half double crochet. Until I see you then, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.